How much does it actually cost to launch your own supplement brand and run it month to month? Now, most people think it's a couple of grand, and that's why most people join the 8 out of 10 startups that unfortunately fail, which is why in this video, I'm going to break down the reality of how much it costs to launch and build a supplement brand, just like I've done for my brand Crush over the last 2 years. Now, why would you want to listen to anything I say about the cost of launching a supplement brand? I've taken my brand Crush from zero to over 36 grand a month in revenue in less than 2 years, and I now help tens of other founders do the same thing on a weekly and monthly basis. So everything I'm going to share with you in this video is real world, tried and tested. Now, the first step to launching a supplement brand is your branding and packaging. The route that I went down was we developed the initial design work ourselves, and then we gave it to a third-party agency and they finished it off for you, because you need to make sure it's compliant and that it's actually going to stand out in the market next to your competitors. Now, this could set you back between 500 quid and £1,000. It'll be on the lower end if you do the initial design work yourself, and it'll be on the higher end if you want to outsource it straight away. So let's say we're up to 750 quid so far. Now, the next stage is where you're going to spend the most money in your journey launching a supplement brand, and that is your initial product and manufacturing run. Again, there are two routes you can go down here. You can either white label it. This means you're not custom developing a formula. You're literally taking a product from a shelf and putting your own label on it. This is going to be a much cheaper option. On the flip side, if you want to bring products to market that are actually different, you're going to want to develop your products. Now, most people inside Startup Club choose to do this. It's what I did when I launched Crush. So you find a supplier, you pay product development. This is usually about 1.5K, 3 rounds of sampling. You have your formula, you give it to your supplier and they'll tweak things for you. And then to place the actual order for your product, this is where it gets expensive. Usually the cheapest rate you'll find is 10K minimum spend, right the way up to 20 or 30 grand. So this can be a very expensive stage. I'm gonna put 10 grand here minimum, because most people don't want a white label. If you want a white label, you're probably not gonna build the most healthy long-term brand. So you want a custom formula, which includes a 1.5K product development fee and realistically a minimum of 10 grand spend. So let's say 11 and a half. Now, if you're listening to that and you think, God, I'm never gonna be able to launch a brand. I don't have 10 and a half grand or 11 and a half grand to launch a product, let alone all the other things that come with it. Then click the link in the description below. I've just signed a deal with a well-known established manufacturer in the UK to give anyone inside Startup Club exclusive deals, including lower minimum order quantities and lower product development fees. So now everyone that's inside Startup Club gets access to this supplier through me. They get great product development costs, low minimum order quantities, and excellent communication times. And trust me, if you've worked with suppliers developing a supplement brand, you know that communication and costs can often be awful. So if you want to know who that supplier is, you want me to make that introduction or give you some insight on how you can launch and scale your brand, then make sure to book in a free strategy call with me. I'll leave it in the link below. Now we're up to £12,250 to launch your supplement brand. And the third part that I'm going to tell you about is your packing. So you're going to pack and fulfill orders in-house, or you're going to use a 3PL, a third-party logistics provider. Whichever one of these options you choose, it's going to be between 200 quid a month and £1,000 a month. If you do it in-house, you're going to need to buy all of the packaging, the tape, the boxes, the label printer, the labels themselves, and you're going to need to arrange a courier to come and collect them from you. So that could be a couple hundred quid, probably the cheaper option. But if you get a unit like I've got, you'll be spending 500, 600, 700, 800 quid a month on rent. So that'll quite quickly come up to £1,000. On the flip side, if you give it to a 3PL, this means you're going to have more time to run the business because you're not packing orders. You can go and work from wherever you want in the world. A 3PL packs and fulfills all of your orders for you. That's realistically going to cost you about 300-400 quid a month as well to keep your stock there. And then you've got all of the costs on top for them to pick and pack every single order. This will probably be between 500 quid and £1,000, whether you're doing it yourself at your house, whether you're renting a unit, or whether you're outsourcing to a 3PL. So again, on this one, we're gonna say 750 quid. And now we're up to £13,000, which brings me on to the next stage, which is your actual packaging itself. So let's say you wanted to launch a protein powder and you were gonna put it in a big tub like this. Or even if you wanted to launch tablet and capsule supplements like Crush did and you wanted to put them into pouches, you're gonna need to buy, say, 1,000 of these pouches or 1,000 tubs. And then you're going to need to buy 1,000 boxes that you want them to sit in, or whatever your packaging format is. Suppliers have minimum order quantities. If you go out to China and you get it from Alibaba, it could set you back 500 quid. But if you're getting it from the UK and you're getting custom cardboard shipping boxes, obviously you've got to buy your tape as well to pack the orders, and then you need the physical product packaging as well. So this is probably realistically going to cost you about £800 So now we're up to £13,800. So you've done all the hard work, you're getting close to launch, but you still need to build your website. This can add a significant cost, or if you do it all yourself, it's going to be pretty cheap. But if you do it yourself, you need to make sure you're doing it properly, because ultimately this is a window into your business. And if it's done in a, how can I put this nicely, a shoddy way, people aren't going to buy. Regardless though, if you do it yourself, you're still going to have to pay for the hosting platform. Let's say you do it on Shopify. Then you've got to pay for apps and integrations, maybe the website theme itself. Now again, to be realistic and not inflate the number or decrease the number as much, we're going to go in the middle. We'll say it's 500 quid and we'll put it up to £13,500 in total. Now for Crush at the start, we paid someone 500 quid a month to build out our website over time. That means I had him in my corner and he was making all these tweaks as and when I needed him. And whilst the website looked really pretty, after about a year, I realized we were missing a lot of shit that I needed, like bundles, upsells, cross-sells, increasing average order value. And only when I started implementing all of those things myself did our website start to perform better. So this is why it's really important that you get a good understanding of how to build your website from the start and not waste 2 years like I did. So if you want that insight and you want to know how to build a website, find suppliers, develop a product, run ads, create content, the list goes on. And booking a free one-on-one strategy call with me in the link below. It doesn't matter whether you've not started your brand yet and you need help, or whether you've already launched and you need help scaling. All of the research and modules that I use to scale Crush to over 36 grand a month is inside Startup Club. You get access to all of the founders that are in there. And if you want help with ongoing support to start or scale your brand, I'll tell you what that would look like. I'll leave that link in the description below. So we're up to £13,500. Next up, we've got email marketing. Again, you can do this yourself in-house, but you're still going to need to pay for the email marketing software. That could be 100 quid a month. Or if you don't have the time or the skills, like most people realistically don't know how to do email marketing, you can outsource it. This could cost you between 500 quid and £1,000. And I know all of these numbers sound like a lot, but you've got to think, if you outsource things and you pay for it to be done properly, what is this going to see you gain in finances over time? If someone's counting up until this point in the video and we're at a different number than 13,800, I do apologize. Numbers are not my strong point, but I'm pretty sure we're at 13.8K. And that leads me now onto another large spending part of launching or scaling a supplement brand, and that is your marketing costs. Now within marketing, we've got two main costs. You've got paid ads, that could be on Amazon, could be on TikTok, could be on Facebook, Instagram, so Meta. If you want to run on Meta, you're going to need a bare minimum of £10 a day to efficiently test creatives and gather data. So that's 300 quid a month there. You've also then got to look at TikTok. I highly recommend getting on TikTok and running ads on there as well. It's the low-hanging fruit and it's so much cheaper than Meta. So you've got paid ads, minimum of 500 quid a month into marketing. If you want to actually get out into the market, push your brand out there, drive sales and awareness from the start, I would really recommend £500 a month. You don't have to spend anything. You can do it organically. It'll just be a bit more of a slow burner, and obviously you're going into one of the most saturated markets in the world. So a bit of paid spend will really force your brand out there. So that was paid ads within marketing, 500 quid. Then we've also got UGC. So that's user-generated content where you can pay people to use your products, make videos, post videos and send you content that you can then run as ads. This can be quite expensive as well. You're going to be spending, I would say 500, but let's just say, your budget's tight. You can do some filming yourself. You know people that'll do it for free. Let's put 250 quid towards user-generated content. Again, very powerful, super high converting content. So we've got £750 there. So that means the total is now up to £14,550. For everything. There's going to be little things in there. The numbers are going to fluctuate depending on how much you do yourself versus how much you outsource. So let's say we're at 14.5K. You then need to give yourself a little buffer because shit always goes wrong when you're launching a supplement brand. So I'm going to say £15,000 is the sweet spot for what you need if you want to properly launch a supplement brand. This is generally the number that I tell people inside Startup Club. You can save and you can do it for a bit less, or if you want to really build a brand properly and outsource everything and save your time and make it look professional, you can do it for 50 grand, no problem at all. But if you're launching a brand and you want support to make sure you're doing it properly, or you're stuck and you need to start driving sales, or you've looked at these costs and you think, where the hell am I going to start with this? I can't afford 1.5K product development. I can't afford a 15 grand MOQ. Then book in that call with me. Like I said, I've got exclusive deals with a supplier in the UK that gets you lower minimum order quantities and lower product development fees, so you don't have to spend your life savings launching this brand, and I'll guide you through it efficiently, so I'll leave that link below. This is the reality of building a supplement brand. It's not a cheap game, it's definitely not easy, but if it was easy, then everyone would do it. So if you've made it this far, I appreciate you all watching. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, and as always, I'll see you in the next one.